Hey everyone, welcome to episode 1 of Rated X Files. Your one-stop shop for I don't know what. Like, what are we thinking for this? Like,
Who knows?
X Files discussion.
there we go.
A little bit of
Sure, why not?
A little bit of friendship.
Every single episode of this podcast, we're going to be taking 2 episodes of the X Files, starting today with the pilot in the second episode, and hopefully going through the entire series.
Hopefully.
That's a lot
We'll
of
get
episodes. Anyways, I'm Donovan McBride.
I'm
and
Logan Krishka.
There we go, and
Christopher Halbrick.
there we go. We're just a couple freshmen at the University of Wisconsin.
Yes.
Hashtag.
Little freshman boys.
Hey, little ones, little babies. Anyways, so we watched the first 2 episodes of the X Files, the ones entitled Pilot and Deep Throat, and we're going to talk about them
So,
today.
Very
Donovan,
big
you've
difference.
seen all the episodes of the X Files, right?
I've seen most of them.
Okay.
And this was a long time ago. This was maybe 2 or 3 years ago that I've actually been like watching them. So it's been a while. And in particular, I hadn't seen the pilot in a while, so it was good to be a refresher.
What about you, Logan?
Yeah, I've seen
What's
them
your-
all. It took me a couple of years to get through, but it was worth it, and I don't remember all of them, so I'm glad we're going through them again.
Chris, what's your
Okay,
experience?
I'm popping my X Files cherry on this one.
There you
Whoa.
go.
Not really experienced. So I'm learning about aliens. I'm learning about
Learn about the spooks.
Yeah.
FBI. Learning about love a little bit.
Spooky.
Ooh, love. I'm liking that. Well,
Spooky love.
let's get started then. Let's just jump right in, guys. Let's just go.
I'm okay.
Episode 1, entitled Pilot. We're missing a couple things in this episode. We don't get the theme song in this one.
I mean,
It's really
I knew
disappointing.
about the theme song. That was really my only experience with the X Files, and
Mhm.
I'm a little disappointed.
Yeah,
You know, coming
that-
in.
Definitely I forgot about that, and that sent a sour note through me with the cold open, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, no,
And just,
I really
no
missed the theme song.
afterwards. Anyways, so we start with a cut of a woman in a nightgown running through a forest, and we don't know what she's running from, but she's very panicked.
Classic.
Yeah, but who wears nightgowns anymore?
You know what? That's a really interesting question.
When did this start? Was
That-
it 91 or
92.
92?
92.
Okay.
I
You
did
know,
some research
that's on the
beforehand.
cusp of like nightgown era.
Yeah.
Was that like the 80s, do you think? Was that like
I'm
big
thinking it's the
nightgown time?
40s. I'm thinking,
Ah,
okay,
whoa.
little old ladies hearing
Okay.
the bombs dropping outside London,
Okay.
coming out in their nightgowns.
Right. And they're just like, hey, what's going on?
Hey, but
here?
there was some shit going down in these woods, so.
But
These woods.
that's when you knew this is a little spooky. Why is this young 20-something
For
girl
sure.
wearing a nightgown?
Yeah.
By the way, I just want to tell everyone that the woman's name was Karen Swenson because I was paying attention. So
Nice.
I know what's going on.
Good
Donovan,
job.
You're getting a point in my journal.
Let's go. Anyways, so she's running through the forest. She takes a hard fall,
Oh, so hard.
straight tumbling down a hill, and all of a sudden, big space light out of nowhere.
Was it the space light?
Were we sure it could have been just
It
a
could have
normal
been-
light?
It could have been a light,
At this point, it's
but
ambiguous.
what we do know is Fuzzy Dude who just looked like he was coming straight out of some TV signal.
With that shotgun, though?
With not with a shotgun,
No?
that's later. It's just
Okay.
a dude, Fuzzy Dude, walks out, encounters the girl, white out, not blackout, white out.
That's how you know it's clean
It's clean,
and mysterious.
for sure.
Different television.
Oh, absolutely. White out into she's dead. What a disappointment.
You
Personally.
can't imagine how many times
It really
that's
sets the
happened.
theme for the rest of the show.
I think it's probably because they ran out of money, so they couldn't like do like anything involving like super cool alien stuff.
Well, this was also the early 90s when special effects were
Just invented.
just there.
Yeah.
I mean, like we were almost at Jurassic Park though. So.
Yeah, almost.
Did they even have special effects before 2003?
Hardly.
Before the first Transformers movie? Did
Matrix.
Michael Bay
Matrix.
Did Michael Bay invent special effects? Because I feel like that was the first movie with special effects.
I mean, the first movie with special effects, as we
Jurassic
all know,
Park wasn't that bad.
wasn't bad at all. Look, going
But
back.
that was after the
Yeah.
first. That's,
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still think it's Michael Bay.
All right. Well, anyways,
Jokes.
we get to all the police officers in this small town, Oregon, are freaking out because, as one guy says towards the end of their encounter, it's the 4th one from the class of '89.
Yeah.
The 4th person from the class of '89 to wind up dead with the 2 dots on the back. That's going to be an important part of this story. 2 red dots that, honestly, like, they're so disgusting. Can
They're
we
not
just-
that bad.
Are you kidding me?
They just like little.
They're
They just look like
bulbous.
little dots.
No, they're like
just
little skin tags. Like it's gross. Like if you met someone
Yeah.
down on your face, you wouldn't comment
Yeah,
on
but
it.
they weren't on
their
you would judge
face.
them. You wouldn't want to talk to them again.
You know, first
It was
up,
like a little. It was like a
also-
mosquito bite on the
yeah,
back.
I know, but like, why at that part of the back? That's like a weird part of the back.
Yeah, that's the
It's
point.
like
It's
an
a weird
alien-
part of the back.
it's like an alien tramp stamp.
yeah.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay.
I like
Do you think
that.
it's like a body modification? Like someone goes into like a piercing shop and they're like, I want the 2 dots from the X-Files.
Yeah, X-Files pilot, please.
Yeah.
Probably.
And they know what they're talking about.
There's an extra charge for that though.
a very important character in this episode, the sheriff of the town, wants to avoid it all. He walks away from this situation.
What a guy.
And we're curious as to why is he walking away. You'd think he'd want to keep investigating, especially if it's the fourth person. We'll figure out later what's going on.
Ooh, a little bit.
The spookiness
foreshadowing.
begins.
Cut to Washington, D.C. It's the 90s. There are small computers. Everyone's got chunky ties and suit coats. But you know who doesn't have any of that? Dana
Fox
Scully.
Mulder.
Fucking trendsetter. Introduction to this episode. Now, everyone should know. We're all huge Scully fans here.
Oh,
Big
I
Scully
love Scully.
fans.
I
Big
want her
Scully
eggs.
Chris is giving me that look, though. I'm not sure he's a Scully fan.
No, she's cute.
Okay, there we go.
Solid. My approval.
There you go. But as she proves, she's just more than her hair and her looks. Because
Just like
she
every
walks-
woman.
Yeah, and that sweet 90s overcoat.
Hey!
Can we
Overcoats.
talk about that? Long coats.
Long coats. I'm telling you, this is where Kanye West got his style is from the X-Files.
No, Kanye got a style from Mulder later in the episode. We'll see that.
You're right. We will see that. And maybe some a little bit in episode 2.
Yeah.
Anyways, so she walks into what I'm assuming is like the director's office of the FBI?
An office.
An office of an authority.
He was an older white gentleman, so
True.
you know he has power.
And he's basically saying, you're very qualified to be working at the FBI. You've been doing a lot of good work for us already in our...
Yeah, but why TF are you here?
But why TF are you here? And she's like, well, I got recruited. Got recruited out of medical school. She's a doctor.
But she's like, I don't want to be a doctor. I want to be a cool, classy, sexy, but keeping it smart FBI agent.
And she does that very well.
She keeps
She does
it
it extremely
real.
well.
100.
Extremely well.
100%.
And then the guy says, hey, you ever heard of this cool cat named Fox Mulder?
And she's
Bang.
like, yeah, I know him. Just by his reputation. Psychologist, out of Oxford. He's got it. He's working on it.
Dude.
He's a smart guy.
And that's when the camera starts rotating. And as it rotates around her, we get to see a supporting character who, as we all know, or people who have watched X-Files know,
I didn't
will play
Oh,
a
yeah, you
huge
didn't
part
know.
later on in the series. Chris doesn't know, but you can basically tell that he's going to be a big part of the series.
Sure.
The Smoking Man.
Smoking Man.
Smoking Man is
Cancer
there.
Man is there.
With less gray hair than normal, but it's the pilot episode, so you know.
It's early 90s.
It's early 90s. He's not that old yet, so we'll just give him a
Still
slide.
horrible.
Still
but we don't
horrible.
know that.
We don't know yet, but he's giving her mysterious looks.
I know nothing.
He doesn't know anything. Chris knows zero.
Nothing. He knows
Literally
literally
nothing.
nothing.
I am a baby.
Anyways, so she's like, well, I know a little bit about Fox Mulder. Chris already went into that. And he's like, and the guy's like, well, we're gonna put you on assignment with him. And she's like, wait a minute. You're trying to tell me, like, you're trying to make me, go in and try to mess up all his stuff. You're trying to make me prove the X-Files aren't
just
even
a
real.
host.
And he's like, hey, now, we're not trying to do anything. Wink. Wink, wink.
I didn't see him wink.
It's like a verbal wink.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But he didn't say it either.
It's
So
true.
it's sneaky.
It's all in the feeling.
okay.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, I was getting a little winky feeling.
the body language.
I don't speak French.
Body language.
And I don't speak Swahili, but here we all are.
This podcast is really big in Kenya.
Oh, for sure. We're gonna get the massive numbers running straight out of Central Africa.
Yes. Congo, here we come!
For sure, man.
2K18.
You know where we're also going? Straight to the basement of the FBI. So that's where Scully's going.
Trap-
She's walking around, she's trying to find this guy.
She's going a lot of places in her life.
Gets in the office. What does she see? The I Want to Believe poster. The iconic, at this point.
Oh.
Yeah,
Iconic
I mean,
poster.
Everyone knows what it is.
Pictures of UFOs everywhere. We pan over, and there is Mulder himself working on some slides.
Kind of
Yeah.
an ass to her.
Kind of an ass. He's like, oh, who's the FBI sending to mess me up this time?
Yeah.
you know,
And
but
then-
he's charming. He's cute,
Regardless.
he's charming, he's lovely.
Regardless. And and then Scully's like, hey, I'm Scully. You know? And she's like, do you even know who I am? And he's like, hell yeah, I do. He's been reading up on her. He's been taking the
She
files.
wrote a physics thesis. He even
She
knows
did.
that.
On
He read
Einstein?
it.
On Einstein? Einstein.
I think every physician writes their thesis on Einstein, though. I
Most
mean,
likely. It must get really boring for the people who grade those.
It's like, Einstein again.
Come on,
Can't
guys.
someone write about this
Come on,
other
get-
physicist?
I mean, there's a ton of physicists and all like, but like Einstein's like the guy. He's the
Yeah,
guy.
it's like,
And they're like,
would
come
you
on.
write a hockey paper not on Wayne Gretzky?
I mean, I'm not sure.
Sports
Has anyone ever
ball.
written a hockey paper?
I mean, someone sure has.
If anyone listening has ever written a hockey paper, contact us somehow.
Send us
Yeah.
the paper. We'll read it and annotate it for you.
Oh, for sure. We'll give you some notes. Just a bunch of college freshmen who haven't even finished their COM-A requirements yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, you know, none of us know anything about hockey, but we can help you out.
Oh, yeah.
For
we
sure.
got you.
By the way, forgot to mention his nickname at the academy: Spooky Mulder.
Spooky Mulder.
Spooky
Gotta
Mulder.
love it. Classic.
He's a real spookster.
Anyways, but he says, you know what, Scully? While you're here, while you're trying to investigate me, you know what? I'm gonna work with you. We got a flight out to Oregon. Stuff's
8
going
a.m.
down. 8 a.m. Sharp.
Be there.
Be here.
Or be square. I like that. That was good.
Yeah. Anyways, so you know what? They take that flight. They're not late. Because you know what? Next shot, they're in Oregon. Alright? They're joking around. They're talking about ghouls. Talking about some demons. Then, while they're driving, all the radio stations start changing around.
Yeah,
You know?
it gets funky.
You know, they go
Funky
from one...
Fresh.
Now, here's the interesting thing. I'm pretty sure they go from like 10 something to like 89 point something.
The
at one point.
thermometer gets all funky too.
I used to do that exact same radio change because 104.7 in Milwaukee is the Norteño station, which plays some amazing music.
Wow.
And then 89.7 is the public radio station. They always have the good news, so it always like...
Oh, that's
flip between.
good. That's nice.
So that was like a nice callback to my life.
Yeah.
Personal connection there. But it's
Book-
Oregon,
book
so
to
it wouldn't even
self.
matter. No,
You're making connections.
Guys, I'm cultured. Okay?
You're cultured. You lived in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Radio-
Now you're in Madison.
Fanatic.
Yeah. For sure. Guys.
For sure.
For sure. Alright, so they get to the grave site, right?
And what do they see?
And what is
See
it?
this
Well,
guy.
first, before they see anything,
Before they see anything,
the county medical examiner comes out of his car. He's like, "Hey, now,
You're an all-star.
where are these FBI kids?"
Get your game on. Go play.
That song hadn't happened yet, so
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sorry.
that's okay.
Continuity
No, you're
error.
fine. You're fine. He's like, "Hey, what are you cats doing around this town? This is my
And that's
town."
Dr. Nemen,
And
right?
he started
Dr.
snapping.
Nemen.
He was like,
He's like, "Hey,
cats.
hey, ha." And they're like, then Mulder's like, "Ba-da-ba-da-bow, what are you doing here?"
And he's like,
And he's
don't
like,
you dare interrupt my work.
Yeah, and
This
he's
is
like,
my work.
And he's like, well, you must have been notified. He's like, I was out of town. Now, question posed to the group here. Where was he? Where was he at?
No one can never know.
You know,
No one can never know.
I'm thinking like sex tourism of Vietnam. That guy looks like a real pervert.
He was just reenacting his Vietnam War experiences.
Yeah.
He's
casually,
literally-
though.
He's
Casually.
literally a
Vegas.
coroner. Like, he examines dead bodies for a living.
Does he
You-
examine dead bodies? We
you-
don't know.
You know he
Do we
gets
ever
down.
see him examine a dead body in this episode?
Do you ever see a dead body in this episode?
We do.
Yes.
Shh, they don't know that.
Well, they're about to because.
And we don't know it was a dead body. Explain.
You're right. Because as they're lifting this coffin out of the ground to investigate this other body that they told. By the way, in the car, they're like, we're going to bring up this other body from another class of 1989 disappearance. This body gets risen, but classic TV trope, oh, the rope breaks as
Yeah.
it's swung, and then the coffin...
Then the coffin goes tumbling down way more than it ever would.
Way more. That thing's going...
That shit was Jack and Jilling down that hill.
Yes, it was.
It had a crown somewhere.
Yeah.
Banged against that
The
other...
crown was inside, the
Yeah.
real treasure.
And then Mulder's like, guys,
I got this.
we're going to open it. And the other guy's like, that's not protocol. And Mulder's like, fuck the rules.
Oh, he's a bad boy.
Yeah, he opens it up. That's not a human in there. Looks like a spookmeister. We got our first spookmeister of this entire series.
I mean, it was spooky. I was spooked. Had big old spooky eyes.
It kind of looked like when people have like those giant like skulls that they put in their yards as like yard decorations for Halloween.
Mhm.
If you put it on like a toddler's body,
But it
Yeah.
still had like the skin and stuff.
It's
So
It's
like,
weird.
like
It was
like
weird.
when people leave their apples out and they decompose a lot.
yeah, but
That's
like
what
if the
it's
apple were
supposed
like
to
a chimpanzee kind of.
Are you calling chimpanzees apples?
Yes.
are you calling? So like by connection, since we have a common ancestor with chimpanzees, are you calling humans like mutated apples?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, I'm
That's
down
how it
with that.
works, right? We're
kinda
in
apple?
college. We know how science is.
Yeah, I mean, listen, someone here is taking a science class, right?
Yeah.
So Mulder's like, we need to get some medical stuff done on this thing. And before you know it, it's 11 p.m. and they're in the coroner's office.
And you know why? Because Scully just happens to have that medical degree.
She happens to have the doctoral degree that's going to be important in literally every single episode of the X-Files.
Almost everyone.
Almost
Mulder
everyone.
was snapping those pics.
He was.
Oh,
he was
God.
going around and what's here? What do my notes say? Now she's looking through and he's like, I want everything done. And Scully's like, are you nuts? Like, what if this is just a prank? This could just be a prank. This is a social experiment. Okay.
The old chimpanzee in the coffin prank.
Yeah.
That one was pulled
Classic.
so many
The
times.
YouTube prankster's gonna come out and he's like, guys, it was just a joke.
God, the camera's right there.
The camera's right there.
Look at, gotcha. Look, the look on your face.
The look on your face.
The look on your face when you realized that was a chimpanzee.
Oh boy. But what we do discover is a piece of gray metallic shrapnel in the nasal cavity of this being.
Do we
Alright?
know it was metallic?
She said like metallic
It
in
was-
color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways, she puts in a little tube, and this is gonna be. Everyone remember this. We're gonna come back
Science,
to it.
yeah.
We're gonna come back to it. It's a very weird thing. She can't identify the material that it's made of.
You know? Yeah, put a pin in that.
Yep. Now, the next thing is that of the 4 people who have been affected of the class of 1989, 2 of them are mental patients at a disturbed ward in the town. So,
What do they do? They go visit
We're
them.
gonna go visit them.
Of
Gotta
course.
get down to business here. Now,
I like to hang out in the psychiatric hospitals.
yeah.
That's
Now,
where I
one,
was raised, yo.
one of them is named Peggy, and one of them, I believe, is named.
Ben.
Sheriff's son.
We're gonna call him Sheriff's son.
Sheriffson.
Sheriffson.
Sheriff's son.
So Sheriffson is a
Vegetable.
He's a vegetable.
In kind words.
And-
Not
but
a
not
broccoli.
kind words.
Just a person that's in a coma.
Just a person who's in a coma. He can only blink.
For 4 years. He's been there for 4 years.
Been here for 4 years. So is Peggy. Peggy.
Okay.
Peggy is just more of your classic like TV mental illness. So she's like, I'm gonna read to Sheriffson because that's what he likes, stories at this time of the day. And then when Mulder's like, we need to do some stuff with her, she's like, oh! And what starts happening?
Gets out of her wheelchair.
Gets out of her wheelchair,
Nose
starts going
starts
nuts.
bleeding.
Nose starts bleeding.
That's
Wait a
important,
minute.
y'all.
Wait a minute. Didn't that dead thing have a thing in its nose?
Yeah.
Whoa! Mulder's like,
Mulder sweeps in there, lifts up that shirt. You know what
Scully's-
he's looking for.
Scully?
Oh, yeah.
Not
Scully's in the
convinced.
back. She's like, oh,
not
oh
convinced.
boy.
But she's the doubt's starting to seed into her there a
Mhm.
little bit.
But like Mulder sweeps in, lifts up that shirt,
Mm-hmm.
finds that those dots on her back. That alien trap stamp.
Oof.
She's been marked. You already know what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Now,
You know what it is.
now, we move forward a little bit in the episode. They're driving back from the mental part of the hospital, and Mulder notices something. In the exact same spot where they were having that radio interference the other day, time had seemed to stop when they were at the mental facility.
Did we forget to mention that Mulder spray painted the road?
We're about to get to there. He's like, oh my
Before.
god.
Before.
Oh, you're right. Mulder put an X in the road
Yeah.
to signify the spot.
It was raining.
And it was raining, and he got out, and he realized the time had stopped, and he was like, yes!
Just what I
Nice.
wanted!
Just what I wanted. Scully, come look at this. Scully. He was really excited about it. And Scully was like, Mulder, you're full of shit. What's going on here? So he puts the X in the road, time stopped, but what do they hear when they're outside?
Things.
They hear things going on. They hear like that kind of sound.
Mhm.
A low groan.
A little bit of one. Tiny bit.
Yeah.
ETT. So, being the private investigators in the 1990s TV show that they are,
Private, they're public, they're FBI.
you're right.
Yeah.
You
Public
right.
eyes.
You're right. Public defenders.
But the public doesn't know that.
Truth is out there.
What has the public ever done for us?
Shit.
Man, we're getting deep.
Martin Luther King Jr., right? That's like the classic example.
Yeah.
Okay.
Who?
Sorry.
We're in college. So they hear the scream, and being the 90s cops that they are, pull out their guns and they run into the forest. Let's go figure out what's going on.
Let's do it!
Alright, so they're there, and like they see the bright lights and the buzzing that we heard earlier when Karen Swenson was being murdered. Okay?
Allegedly being
Allegedly.
murdered.
And they see a mysterious figure standing at the top of the hill. And they're
Who
like,
could that figure be?
Jesus?
At this
Could
point,
it?
Mulder and Scully have been
No.
separated. So Scully's pointing her gun at him. Turns out to be the sheriff from earlier, who is disturbed by the death of Karen Swenson.
And what
he's
does
a-
the sheriff have? He
He's
has
a shotgun.
It's a shotgun.
That's a bigger gun than a pistol.
It's much bigger.
Rumor
At
has
least
it.
3.
Rumor has it that that's the truth.
It's out
And he's
there.
like, "This is private property. Y'all better get your asses out of here." And she's like, "Boy, what? Like, and he's like, "This is a crime, private." And she's like, "But I outrank you. This doesn't make sense." And then Mulder shows up. and He's like, "This still doesn't make sense." Turns out that the bright lights and the humming was just the sheriff's truck. False alarm. Regardless, why is he out there?
Why is he out there?
Why is he out there in the crime scene?
Why does he have a shotgun?
He's a sheriff.
Yeah, but why is he out there with a shotgun?
They were trespassing on private property without a warrant, and as the owner of that land,
Apparently?
he
Apparently.
is able to defend his home.
Castle Doctrine! Haha!
Ah.
Alright. Now, as they're driving back, Scully starts noticing a couple things. The compass is all out of order. You don't know where north is.
Nah.
Where's north? I don't know where north is.
No one needs to know that.
Yeah.
Except for them birds in winter!
Yes.
They're coming home. Come home to our homeland.
So anyways, the compass is whacked, weird stuff's happening, yada yada yada. They're back at the hotel. It's been a late night. And being that this is a show that was trying so hard to like make women like on the same level as men. Like here's Scully, she's out here, she's doing all the same things as Mulder.
And what happens?
They make her strip down to her underpants and almost take a bath
Yeah.
because it's 1992, and who else is gonna do that in the show? We don't want to see David Duchovny. Lord knows, we don't want to see him take a
Dear
bath.
Lord. He doesn't have that tramp stamp, though.
Scully's like, wait a minute, I'm feeling around on my back here. I'm feeling some bumps.
Oh, boy.
So what does she do? Puts on that robe.
Runs over to Mulder.
Runs over to Mulder. Mulder's wearing the denim shirt.
Mhm.
God bless.
God.
God
He's not the
bless.
only one wearing that denim. Remember the Dr. Nemen in
He
the
was
beginning?
wearing
He
denim.
was wearing denim
Hella- his
jeans
wife,
and a denim shirt.
His wife was wearing a lot of denim too. She
Oh.
the denim jacket and the jeans.
I'm into it.
Canadian tuxedo.
I'm
Guys,
into
come
it.
on, let's bring back all denim. Can we bring back all denim?
Yeah.
This show is gonna start that social movement.
Denim underwear
Bring
is
back-
what we need.
Okay. Now I think the movement's just over there. We had it for a moment. We had a rallying cry.
What? You don't like the soft caress of denim against your nether
Oh,
regions?
don't even.
Like,
Don't even.
It's just the perfect material.
You know who else is about to do a soft caress?
What?
Mulder. When he's
Whoa.
like, and she's like, you need to see this. She's like, you need to see this. Drops the robe, and he's like, bup, 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 bup.
Drops
Jokes.
down to his knees.
And he's just like,
What is this show doing?
And he's like, it's about to be a sensual moment. He's like, jokes, it's mosquito bites.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my god.
Because there's 3 of them instead of just 2.
It's 3 of them, right? Exactly. And they're a little smaller than the other
Yeah.
ones.
Aliens only come in odd numbers. Nope, even numbers.
Even
not odd
numbers?
You're right. So now that they're together, right? They're just hanging out at the hotel. They're chatting, right? 2 things are going on at the same time that are very important.
Yeah.
Number 1, which we'll start with first, is that Mulder is discussing why he got into the paranormal,
Mm-hmm.
which is very important for just the rest of the series. This is going to be a major plot point. Secondly, there's a dude lurking around outside. Got a little hood on.
Who is that dude? We don't know.
We don't know. No spoilers yet, though.
Mm-mm.
Mulder's like, listen, the reason I get involved in these X-Files here is that when I was young, my sister got abducted. Never saw her again.
Shit.
What? Big reveal.
What?
Big, right in the first episode. This episode's so good.
Where's
This
your
episode
sister?
links everything.
Yeah.
Where is she? I don't know.
He doesn't know either.
He doesn't know. That's what he's trying to find, though.
That's why he started doing the X-Files. When he said when he went to England, because he went to Oxford.
Went to
Oh, I went to
Oxford.
Oxford.
Yeah.
That's how they talk in
and
England, right?
apparently he's a good, like, he can read people's faces really well.
Yeah, like
Oh.
almost as if he's educated in psychology.
Oh, wow.
I'm not sure that's how
cool.
psychology works.
Cool.
But TV has led me differently.
Yep.
Cool, like,
That's what
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
So,
So he's talking and he's like, I need to find out what happened to her. Because he saw her being abducted, but he couldn't do anything. He was paralyzed.
he was so paralyzed.
so paralyzed by fright. Or something else.
We can't know
We
yet.
can't know yet. They're not going to tell us. All of a sudden, they get the wild phone call. Bring. Now, I thought originally it was going to be the dude who was in, like, the shadows or anything. And we find out it's from the mental hospital.
Bring, bring.
Bring. Hello, hey, open the door, Peggy's dead. What? Nuts. Peggy's dead, guys. The one with the nosebleed, she's dead. What are we gonna do about that?
In peace, Peggy.
Yep.
Rip in peace.
She threw herself in front of a truck. Like a
Shit.
big one.
A
And
big
they-
truck? How many wheels?
18 or something. It was a big
Whoa.
18-wheeler. Like, she was like, guys, it's go time. And, like, she went to Clown Town on that truck.
She does not go out easy. She's like, I want to get rid of her car, but not 4 wheels. Fucking throw 18 on that bitch.
I'm gonna get wrecked.
Dude.
R-E-K-T.
Oh my god, R-A-K-T, find out what it means to me.
Yeah.
Now Scully looks to investigate this body, and what does she see? Fucking time stopped on the girl's watch.
Oh, boy.
Just like what happened to Mulder earlier.
What was the time? 9:03. The most
9:03?
spooky time of the day.
Guys, listen, like, it's 10:57. I'll tell you what, like an hour ago,
It was
Right.
so spooky in
I
here.
was still recovering from 9:03. And now I'm fine, but it's, you know what? It stays with you. It stays with you. Time stops. Now we know for a fact when they come back, something else is happening. The hotel is on fire!
Oh my god!
Arson.
And what's in there? Everything that they
Everything.
need.
They had dirt samples. They had no, they didn't have the metal shrapnel. That comes in later. But they had the photos.
And the body was stolen from the hospital.
You're right. They stole the body. Body was in there.
Mhm.
Alien body. It's done. It's gone. Guy with the hood, obviously.
Alien body, chimpanzee body, we don't know. It was
Apple
a body.
body?
Apple
Apple
body?
I'm Steve
Apple
Jobs.
bottom jeans.
Introducing the I Human. Can you imagine?
No.
Okay. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs.
He was a good
Our
man.
hero.
He was.
He made
He
cool
brought
shit.
back turtlenecks.
He
Mock
did.
necks. Mock neck.
Oh, okay.
It's a difference.
sorry.
He wore denim. So
He did. Guys, this is a pro denim podcast, okay? We are in full support of jeans,
I mean,
jackets.
Donovan, I think the listeners have the right to know our deal with the Denim Council.
You're right. Guys, we are sponsored today by the Denim Council. It's a combination of different jean enterprises in the United States. We're talking Lee. We're talking Rough Hewn. We're talking American Eagle jeans.
Okay, and you know, again, if we're gonna be completely honest,
That's what this podcast is about.
my uncle is Levi,
The Levi?
the Levi, and Strauss.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And
He was
Strauss?
the French anthropologist.
sure,
Wow.
So his name's Levi and Strauss?
yes.
he has 2 names.
No, okay. Levi is his first name.
And this is
Middle name is
Nicole.
actually Nelson, but
Oh.
N abbreviation.
Mm.
Oh.
Last name Strauss.
Got you.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow, that's crazy, man.
yeah.
No wonder.
I got that jeans.
No wonder you got the
money.
sponsor.
You got
so
that
quick.
jeans.
Jeans, dude.
Jeans dollars.
Guys, jeans are the future.
Like every time you throw in a pair of jeans with a dollar bill in them into your washing machine, comes up to us. Don't ask us how it works. It's patented.
For sure, man.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, now we're gonna come back from the ads. Let's
now
go
we're
back
now
to
we're
our regularly scheduled
now we're
program.
so the fire's happening. And they're like, oh shoot! But then this girl approaches them and she's like, hey guys. We never really learned her name, but that's fine. And she's like, every once in a while, I'm part of the class of '89, and sometimes I feel like my mind gets taken over by something else, and I want to go out in the woods. What?
Whoa.
That's a bad idea.
What are them woods doing to her?
I hate the woods. Who would want to ever go to the woods?
For sure, man. Dude. Alright. So, she's out in the woods, but she always comes back. And then, just as they're starting to get some juicy info, who comes in? The medical examiner and the
And the
sheriff.
daddy.
The 2 worst people in this episode so far.
Sheriff still got that shotgun though. He keeps it on him.
He walks into a restaurant with that shot.
A diner, nonetheless.
He's
That's how you know this
He's
is
like,
92.
Nana, it's your last day at the hospital. But she's like, son, don't bring your shotgun into the dying.
He's
war."
like, I'm gonna do it.
He's like, this is.
You can't stop
This
it.
shotgun's more important to me than you, mother.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Classic.
they take her away, but guess what? Her nose starts bleeding. Oh, connections.
Shit.
Connections. Guys.
Scully
we can,
sees
you know
that.
what?
we can
Donovan?
draw lines here.
At this point in the episode, I did notice a pattern. The people,
Okay.
class of '89,
Yeah.
bumps on the back and
Alright.
the tramp stamp,
Bring it
nose
home.
bleeding,
Bring it home.
the forest.
Bring it home.
What's going on here? The sheriff's got something to do with it.
Sheriff definitely has something to do with it. He's behind some stuff, but how? How
We
is
don't
that,
know
guys?
yet. We still don't know yet.
Well, Mulder has a theory.
Mulder does have a theory.
They go back to the graveyard, and all those bodies, the dead ones, they're gone.
They're all gone.
They're out of there.
They're all dug up in perfect rectangles, like they took geometry class yesterday, and they're gone.
Yeah. Now geometry will be a good part of the second episode too. We're gonna get to that.
Oh yeah, we'll get.
Stop teasing the audience down there.
I want them to stay around, okay? I want them to
It's
stay
about
around.
Idaho. They gotta stick around.
Way to go, Idaho. All right, back to Oregon.
Hmm.
And he's like, I have a theory. I'll tell you who I think is digging up these bodies, who's being controlled to get these people into the woods.
Who is it, Donovan? Tell me right now. What's his theory?
Sheriffson. Sheriffson is the
Sheriffson?
one.
What? It can't be Sheriffson. He's in a coma for 4 years.
That's what
He's
Scully says.
A
That's what
literal
Scully-
vegetable.
It's true.
That's what
Sheriffson.
Scully says. Scully
But-
says vegetable.
but Mulder's like-
so it's not offensive.
And Mulder's like, who else? Who else could it be? It makes so much sense. You can't tell me they're looking at him all the time, right? Crazy.
Can't be.
And
Because
why
what
is
was
that-
he doing at 9:03 last night?
But
why
and
is
you
the
know
sheriff
you
out
know
there?
why he thought this is that Lucy or whatever her name is, wheelchair truck lady,
Peggy.
Peggy. I knew it was something weird.
There you go.
She
So all you Lucy's
she
and
was
Peggy's
wheelchair
out there.
bound, but somehow got the strength to run on traffic. So if God gives you the legs to run out of traffic, then God might
Oh,
give you the legs to run out
hey,
of
Chris,
a
and the
coma.
Chris-
will to kill
Chris,
4 people.
We should explain some more advertising things. We're sponsored by an organization to ban the names Lucy and Peggy.
Yeah, I started that.
Oh, yeah, Logan did. He's a little bit of a hater.
Mhm.
So anyone that named Lucy and Peggy, think about changing your name.
Yeah.
Just
And if you can't, have your parents do it, because really.
and if they don't do it, just like go somewhere else.
Yeah. Just go to Idaho. We'll get there. We'll see you soon.
We'll see you soon.
Alright, so what happened next?
All right,
This vegetable is running around killing people.
dude.
It's not regular asparagus.
No,
It's sheriff's.
I want to point out that in my notes.
Sheriff Spare.
I want to point out that in my notes at this point, there's a tree in the graveyard that Logan said he would easily climb. So anyone watching the episode, look out for that tree that looks really climbable.
Oh, it's so nice, y'all.
Yeah.
I climbed that. 10 out of 10.
They go back to the mental hospital. And they're looking at this dude, and the nurse is like, "Y'all are crazy. This dude right here is not even. He only blinks."
And we know when he blinks.
And we know when he blinks. And she's like, "So I'm assuming you empty his bedpan." And she's like,
She's like, yeah, I'll clean out that shit.
"Yep, that's me."
That's what I do.
That's literally what she says.
Every day.
though.
Yeah, every
No
day.
one else-
Every
no
day.
one
No one
else
else will do it.
Yep.
No one else will do it.
But I do it.
But you know
I
what?
take this boy's shit
Yeah.
and I throw it in the garbage.
But Scully's like, "Hold on, let me tickle this kid's feet real quick." She's tickling these feet, and she's like, "Wait a
And
minute."
what does she see? She sees
Fresh
all
fucking
of that fresh dirt.
from the forest. And she's like, "I have a sample."
She doesn't know it's from the forest, but she got to take
Yeah,
a sample.
she used to have a sample, and she runs onto the hallway. She's like, "I've got it, Gadzooks, guys."
She dabs mad hard.
dabs mad hard, but then Mulder's like, "Hey now, hey now, you keep quiet for a second, because I see you over there." He's like, "Think about what you're doing here. You have to write the report."
And
You-
Scully's like, yeah, shit. I forgot. I gotta be
And then
sane.
she's like, "Okay, we're gonna go back to the forest and get new dirt samples." So
because they all burned up.
they all burned up in that fire.
Who set that fire? We don't know yet.
Arson guy. Arson guy.
God damn it, arson guy.
So they go back into the woods, but what's there? The lights and the humming again.
Again, though.
They can't keep it quiet.
Like, Oregon, what's going on? Why is it so bright at nighttime?
Like, honestly, was it Alaska in
Yeah.
here?
Moon, it's not your time to shine. You're not the sun.
Honestly, too many of these states in the Pacific Northwest are trifling.
God.
So they're looking around. They get split up. They hear screams. They break up. They're running through. Who does Scully encounter?
Who does she encounter, Donovan?
The return of the sheriff.
Oh,
Third
shit.
time. Third time he's here.
Does he have a
boy-
shotgun again?
And as we find out,
Yes, he does. He does have a shotgun.
Sheriff's son, of course, his
Mhm.
son, is roaming around and he's protecting him.
Mm-hmm.
Like a good and a bad dad would do.
Yeah, like an average dad.
Yeah.
If you add the good parts and
Funny
the
for
bad
his son.
parts.
While his son is doing all this alien shit,
He has a
he's...
sign of 0.
Yeah.
Sure.
More or
And
less.
then Mulder's like, be the change you want to see in the world. And the sheriff's like, you know what? You're right. You're right. And he's about to shoot his son. Nope. Mulder gets in the way of that. And you know what? Something happens inside the boy. And he's like, we done with this.
Yeah.
And just...
We good now.
by the
We
way,
don't need to
big
do this
reveal here.
anymore.
That girl that he was about to bring up to Deathland.
Mm-hmm.
That girl that was in the diner. It's the truth.
She was.
It's the truth. So, nothing happens. The dots are gone. Life is good.
He's cured.
Exactly.
He's also. Can we mention the fact that he was super buff? Like
was
he was in a
so
coma.
buff.
He was in a coma for 4 years.
4
and he had
years.
Sheriff's
muscles.
son was keeping it tight.
Yeah, he was like, I bet he was like flexing while he was in a coma.
I could eat
Probably.
some macaroni and cheese off those abs.
Not
oh,
bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yes.
All right, what's that?
But for being a vegetable,
So, guys, we have a couple morals for this episode. Number one, don't have forest parties. Class of '89 had a forest party. 4 of them are dead.
Just-
so like,
just
think
stay
about
out of the damn forest. How hard is it?
that. I know,
That's why
honestly.
we have
Just
everything
move to
else.
the big city. Just
Yeah.
get out of Oregon.
The
Or go to
concrete
Portland.
jungle is better than the regular jungle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Regular jungle will fuck you up.
You know, and you know what? This is a good thing for the X-Files. I think the X-Files are really bringing up this condemnation of the American nature
Hey.
and its transformation into
Hey,
a state of just humans. They're saying animals, get away,
Yeah,
bring
we're
in the
fair.
humans.
bring him in. Bring him in. They're back in D.C. now. Case closed. They got it done. And Scully walks in, right?
Yeah.
With Mulder, but Mulder's more of a secondary part in this part of the show. And they're back with that old dude. And the smoking guy is outside. He's gonna come.
Cancer Man just always
Cancer
there.
Man's always there. And the guy's like, so, guys were in Oregon for a bit.
What'd you find there?
What'd you find there? And you're like, oh, I think we found some aliens there, see?
Yeah.
And he's like, no, you didn't.
Nah.
Yeah, she-
Nah, what's the proof? How do we do
What
this?
a load of malarkey. Like, what evidence do you have? And he's like, well, I'll burn up in the fire. He's like, that's a joke. And she's like, but we do have one thing. And then they're like,
And then she just super sneaky.
for anyone who lives in Milwaukee, this is like that moment in Hupie and Abraham commercials when like the black and white lawyers find out that like they just hired Hupie and Abraham,
Mhm.
and they're just like, what?
Cupid
Oh.
and Abraham.
Dang it!
Shit.
It's over now. She pulls out the little metallic thing from the apple chimpanzee human nose.
Yeah.
She places
She
it
just
down.
puts
Like,
it on the table.
found
and she's
this.
like, bitch.
Don't know what it is. But everyone was getting nosebleeds, so hey, that's yours now.
It's unidentified. We don't know what the fuck this shit is.
Oh, for sure.
That's exactly what she said in that episode.
And she goes back to her apartment, and she's sleeping. She gets a phone call from Mulder. Hey, girl. Just want to let you know, the case file's gone. Got burnt. Got lost. It's lost in Oregon.
Yeah. Creepy.
No evidence of anything that happened there.
Krippy.
And whatever came of that metallic object?
Who can never know?
The
Except for
smoking-
us.
Jokes. The smoking man, cancer dude,
Just walks through a
Walks through,
through a corridor
finds a
casually.
little box, slides it up, gets a little container, opens
and
that
what
up.
happens to be in that container?
So many metal things.
So of them.
Oh, so many. He puts one in, and he's like, bye. Walks out, locks the door. It's the Pentagon.
You know what? At this point, I realize these FBI fellas might not be on our protagonist's side, huh?
Are we the protagonist or
Well,
are we the antagonist?
Hey, you know what? You know what's a really good episode that explores what side the feds are on in this show?
Episode 2.
Episode 2!
Are we gonna go there now?
Why not?
Should we
Let's
just have
do
a
it.
little episode 1 wrap up, though? I think.
Sure.
I think-
Episode 1 wrap up.
So what were like the
So
5
wrap
things we
up.
learned? What were the 5 things we
Donovan,
learned? in
let's
this
wrap up this wrap up.
episode? Okay. Alright, I'll...
Get a beat. Use the
Hey.
pumpkin.
Hey. Okay. Alright, number 1. Mulder and Scully work really well together.
Yeah, they're a dynamic duo.
Number 2. We can't really trust the big government.
Yeah, I mean,
It's a very Bernie Sanders message.
I appreciate the libertarian slant on this. I will.
sure.
I feel like Mulder and Scully would be Bernie followers, but
They probably
maybe I'm
would.
biased.
Probably would. Number 3 from this episode. Alright?
Don't sexualize women. That's a big
Don't
one.
sexualize women. You know what? Just let them.
I mean, if they have mosquito
cook.
bites, okay. But if not,
Yeah.
leave them alone.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Number 4.
Let me get this one, Donovan, please.
Okay.
Okay, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Okay.
I think for number 4 for this episode, it should be. You know what? There's some spooky shit going on in the world,
Yeah.
and you know what? Not just in this world, but out of this world.
Out of this world.
Shit.
Crazy stuff. But you know what? That leads into point number 5. The truth is out there.
Shit. Oh man.
Episode 2.
Episode
Cut.
2,
Theme
let's do
song.
this. Let's do
It's called Deep Throat. Everyone got turned on from the title of this episode. Let's
mean,
just
Don't
wrap
lie.
it.
Don't lie. You
Raging,
A raging.
throbbing erections.
Yeah, I mean, thinking about that sexual act while I'm watching these two hotties solve crimes.
They're both very attractive. Cold open. Start of the show. Idaho.
We get a
the
get an
big
intro.
Victorian house that makes me want to live in Idaho.
Idaho looking
SWAT
good in this
team,
episode.
Looking good, Idaho. You're looking very beautiful. We'll get to that part later
Yeah.
on in the episode. SWAT team's rolling and they're like, let's get in this house. The wife's like, what?
Yeah, that's what she's like.
And they're like, they walk up, bing down that door. They're like,
got-
hey,
They bang
where's
it down, bing bang.
Where's
bing.
the guy? Where's the guy? There he is, in his underwear with burns on. Not a good.
Not even Burns. We don't know what it is. He's just
It
sitting
looks
there
like Burns.
in the fetal position against the wall, trembling, yo.
Not a good look for him. That is not the fall 2016 look.
He needs to get his skincare game on point.
He needs to see a dermatologist for sure.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Get
So,
that low on.
Yeah, so
better.
he's
Get
very
that
very
on.
sweaty, got burns, so maybe, and he's in his undies, and then for the first time in the X Files,
What do we get?
the theme
the fucking theme song. Y'all know what it is.
That's pretty
yeah.
impressive, Donovan.
Thank you. I've been working on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like 3 hours.
Is that what you do in the bathroom before? Like, you were in the bathroom for like a good 4 hours before this podcast.
I mean, I was just really like taking a shower. I got like cleanse before.
Cleanse
it's
your soul, like
like,
you
it's
clean
like,
before
it's like a
you talk
heat
about
cleanse.
Okay.
You know,
But you were whistling too, right?
I always whistle. I whistle when I work.
Yeah. Seven Dwarfs. Shout out Walt Disney.
this. We're gonna get sued.
For what?
For saying Walt
Yeah.
Disney's name.
You don't know how copyright works.
You're right,
I don't know how
don't.
copyright works.
Let's just assume. All right.
Anyways,
We start the episode with a pan shot of the skyline of DC and 90s music, bass lines with synth. I love bass lines with synth. Scully's hair's changed from the pilot.
oh, it's so good.
It's a business cut.
You know, it's real tight. She's got that spray on. You couldn't hack away with that shit with a machete.
For sure. She's just there reading in a bar? Let's talk about that.
She's reading in a bar. Yeah, that's weird.
On
Only doctors would do that.
2 p.m. on what? Like, what we're going to assume is a Wednesday?
That's. The
Well, I
most
mean,
sensible
Wednesdays are
days.
pretty normal to
Two-
read in a bar.
Yeah, but then Mulder comes up and he's like, hey, girl.
Hey, girl. No, he doesn't just come up.
This is a
She's
very-
there reading,
No, there's
and
a-
he's all like, hey, girl.
No, because this is a very creepy part. Because he comes up to her and he, like, almost goes in for the neck kiss and then he backs out. And
Yeah.
he's like,
Yeah.
hey, girl.
It's foreshadowing for
It's
what's to come in the
You know,
future
I get, it's a
episodes.
little
Wild.
tease for the audience.
Right.
Just.
It's like, hey, guys, you know what?
This is the 90s. We gotta keep it real.
Keep
and by
it
keep
real.
it real, I mean keep it a little rapey. You
Keep
know?
it a little rapey.
Just a little.
A little bit.
It's my favorite rapper.
A little rapey?
Yeah.
That's Chris's alter ego.
No.
Anyway, she's like, want a drink? And she's like, Mulder. It's 2 p.m. And he's like, yeah,
Yeah, girl.
everyone else here is drinking. Why don't you? Peer pressure. Peer pressure.
It's one of the big themes. One of our
Consent
five.
is the presence of a yes, not the absence of a no. So,
This is a very teetotaler movie.
movie?
You know?
Yeah.
Movie.
Very much
Television
movie.
series. You know.
Yeah.
You know how it goes.
Yeah.
You know what?
And they walk over to a table and he's like, here's the dealio. In Idaho, this guy been missing for 4 months.
Shit.
No one knows where he's at, but he's just returned. Like he's out there. The military's saying nothing. They're saying 0 things about this. We need to figure out what's going on. And she's like, Mulder, you think this is a bunch of shenanigans? And he's like, damn right. But first, let me use the bathroom. Goes in there. Classic TV trope here. Washes his face. Looks at the looks at.
The camera pans over. Who's behind him?
Yep.
Deep Throat.
First time, nothing. Second time, Deep Throat. Hence the title of this
Deep Throat.
episode. Entitled Deep Throat.
But who is Deep Throat?
He doesn't really say who he is in this episode.
No, we can't know.
He's just like
It's against the rules.
he's just like, I've got some information for you, and Mulder's like, dude, just okay.
Fucking
And he's
just
like,
tell me.
He's like, no, don't go to Idaho, and he's like, no, I'm gonna do it. I already like kind of planned, and he's like, I would recommend against it.
You know,
And he's-
Deep Throat seems like a good travel planner. You know,
I'd
it's
say
like,
so.
just don't go to Idaho.
Based on what happens in this episode, I'd say he was right.
Deep
like-
Throat knows Deep Throat knows what's up.
Uh huh.
Take a trip to Hawaii. That's a cool state. Not like Idaho.
Yeah.
Yuck.
Yeah, for sure.
What if we have listeners in Idaho? Zinnia, I love
They don't
you.
have the
Also,
internet there.
Nick Lemon, you're cool. I haven't met you.
Yeah. At some point, there's just a note in here that just says, let's see here. It says microfilm like shit. I don't know what that part was about.
Because Scully went to the library to look at the newspapers.
You're right, and she was scanning through. She was looking at stories
We were
of
just-
soldiers disappearing.
Yeah, we were just talking about how cool that machine is.
Microfilm for life, guys. We're also pro microfilm on this podcast.
Pro library.
every episode.
Guys, go to your libraries wearing jeans.
Having fun is not hard when you have a
Library card. Shout out to Arthur
and denim.
and Denim. Guys, wear your jeans when you go to the library. It's a really good pair of pants to wear when you go to the library.
Comfy yet has utility.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
doesn't stretch unless you want it to.
Yeah. You know what? You know where's jeans?
Just like skin.
Yeah. So then
Favre.
Scully calls Mulder. They're both at their apartments, and she's like, "Hey, Mulder, got some interesting stuff here, but was Mulder here?" Taps.
Tippy taps. And then what does he do? He
Phones
goes over to the
being
window,
tapped. Okay,
pulls
this
down
is
the shade.
most-
What's there?
a big windowless van with a dude staring right at
A
it.
big van with only 3 windows
boy.
and a
I mean,
guy.
you
These
think-
FBI people have to learn.
You think like a super secret
Right.
government organization would be like, let's park the big windowless van outside the window.
Yeah. Like they're really not winning. And
No.
Mulder's
Yeah.
like, I'm gonna hang up. And he does.
They're losing. We are going to be.
We're
winning.
gonna win. It's episode 2 and we're already on top.
Moving on up.
Alright.
Moving on up.
Is there a conspiracy going on? Let's go to Idaho and figure it out. Alright? So, they go to the guy's house. His wife's there. And she's like,
Hey.
I don't know. It's been weird. I haven't seen him in a couple of months. He's apparently at this hospital, but the military won't tell me anything. Right? And there's this one part where she's like, you know, the government, you know, where they're acting like they're above the law, and we're like, damn,
Damn, you can't be that. You can't be doing
you're
that.
right, you're right, you're right.
Oh, that's not cool.
And then there's another crazy dude. She's like, hey, my husband's not the only one who apparently is going nuts. There's this other dude, this other girl I know, and this woman is not happy at the FBI.
No, she is not. She is not having
Her
it.
husband's
First
plucking
of
out
all,
hairs. Plucking out hairs,
and what is he doing with that fly?
He's
That's
like
a fly.
He's wrapping the hairs around the fly.
Yeah, like what is this
He's
bitch?
Fly flishing. fly fishing.
Yeah.
enthusiast.
Fly fishing.
Fly fishing.
Fly
He's
to the
fly
blue.
fishing. He's
Fly
gonna enthuse,
fishing.
and,
And
he's
then
gonna catch a
this
big trout.
this woman is so salty because she's like answering the FBI's questions, and then in front of the FBI, she's like, oh, "Why'd you bring them here, Marcy? You slut!" And then
that's why your husband left you.
Mm,
You're
ooh.
always in his business.
she's catty.
yeah. She's the neighborhood cat.
I like her.
Oh,
Fair
you
enough.
do?
No.
No, why not?
Well, she's kind of a bitch, but I'm kind of into that.
Okay, I mean I see that.
Yeah.
Hey, but I just want to add, the woman who whose husband is missing. Really
You know
cute.
who she reminds me of?
Oh.
She reminds me of Vera. What's her name?
Vera-
from Dolores Claiborne. Is it Donovan? I want to say it is. Vera something. She was the old rich bitch who died down the stairs, and then
I
Dolores
think you're
got
the
all
only
the
one.
money.
I think you're the
I
only one
have
here.
no idea what you're talking about.
Oh, we're doing a podcast on that show then.
Okay, we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
All right. Anyways,
She has some cute
It's
kids.
Vera
though.
Donovan.
She has some cute kids.
yeah,
Shout out
they're
to the
cool.
kids. Shout out to the kids.
They cool.
They're gonna play like a semi-important part later on. Then they're like, and then she gives them some contact information. And Mulder and Scully are like, "Who's this Colonel Kissel?" They try to call him. He's like, "Hey y'all, I set up an interview next Friday," and they're like, "That's too much time."
Friday from this Friday.
Yep. Come on. So they're
Can't
like,
be-
you know
can't
what?
Be that way.
They drive over to his house, do the classic. He pulls into the driveway. They get out, and they're like, "Colonel Kissel, yo, give us some quotes." And he's like, "Nope."
Nope.
Closes the door.
Bye.
He's a
Bye,
real dick. Real piece of shit.
Real dick.
Real piece of shit. At this point, we come across a man who claims to be a local journalist, and he's like, "Hey, what can you tell me about these UFOs?"
Yeah, just like
Here."
give me the
The
give me
UFOs.
Give me
What
the
about
inside
the
scoop.
UFOs?
He's
And
got
he's like,
a little fedora on, press little cap.
Press
thing.
Fedora
Press to
before
get
it was
in
even a meme. Like,
for sure. And
Yeah.
Mulder's like, "Hey, how about you get out of here, kid?" And he's like, "Yo, I don't believe in UFOs." And then Mulder's getting riled, and he's like, "Ooh, oh boy."
It's like, but tell me, if there were UFOs, where would they be?
True.
That
And he's
is
like-
the question.
And he's like, "Oh, you want to know some UFO nuts?" Cut to a diner with the most 90s lighting of all time.
Yeah.
We're talking, it's dark inside.
Through
But
the
it's
shades.
so
through the
smoke-
shades
It's
and
smoky.
red and blue neon lights. Come on, guys.
But you
And-
you gotta take into the fact that you can still smoke in diners at this point.
But you
It's
know
a
who's-
real thing.
You know
Everyone-
who's behind the diner? The most
waitress.
charming woman of the whole time.
she's
of the
like,
entire universe.
she's
Oh,
like,
she's
all
great.
these people are talking nuts, but I know there's UFOs in the sky. You wanna know why? I took a
Because they
picture of
hot
one.
shots. They hot shots. They think they can pull 4Gs and they're the hot shit.
They think they're the hot shit, but they come in here, and I think they would be going up there flying by themselves, and Mulder's like, "You are a funny lady."
Yeah.
Anyways, he sees that there's some
Mulder's
photos.
into her.
I can see it.
I'm into her.
Who isn't?
Yeah, life partner right there.
She works at a diner. She can hook you up with some sweet pecan pie.
Probably. I didn't see any pecan pie.
Probably a
there.
lot of math too, but
I mean,
It's Idaho, so yeah.
it's the 90s though.
yeah.
You're right. And then so she has all these photos of UFOs, and Mulder's like, "Yo, did you take any of these?" And she's like, "This one." And that's when we get the introduction of the Triangle ship.
Triangle ship.
Such a
Here we
great.
go.
I think it's nice Isosceles Triangle.
I mean,
It's definitely isosceles because it's 3 different sides.
Yeah.
3 different sides.
Yeah, 3 different angles. Yeah.
we're in college.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Don't
we
worry
know
about it.
things.
Don't worry
we
about it. Don't worry
pretend.
about it. Don't worry about it. And so he buys this picture off of her, and like, I'm gonna look for this thing.
And this is the second picture he has. This is all he's
Yeah,
got.
second picture. The other one was from 50 years ago, so not very recent.
Yeah.
Then Scully pulls out the wild physical map.
Oh. Like a
She-
physical map of paper.
She opens that thing up multiple times to when it's completely out. She wrote some directions down on the napkin. How cute. We'd use Google Maps now.
Google Maps, memo on the phone.
Oh,
Fuck napkins.
for sure. Fuck maps. Fuck napkins.
Fuck napkins.
Sounds like webkins.
Oh, can we talk about Webkins for a second?
Sure. Let's go for it.
Those were pretty cool. I had a Webkins.
I never had a Webkins, but I was
Oh,
super into
Had
it
one.
for a while.
Had one.
They had a battleship game on that. That was the best battleship game I've ever played.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
It had like special bombs you could use instead of regular bombs because it was
Whoa.
pirate themed.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
and there was like a big one.
Yep.
There was one that was in the shape of an X.
Yep.
X
Yeah.
Files.
Holy
Oh,
shit! The
rated X-Files.
Webkins were in on this. This goes all the way to the
Everyone's in on this.
top. This goes all the way to the top of the Webkins.
X Files is the core of human existence. Everything revolves around it. Something
You're right.
relates to it.
You're right.
One way or another.
That's why we're doing this podcast.
Yeah.
You wanna know why they got that map
Gotta
though?
bring the truth out.
X-Files?
Why they got that map?
Because
Jeans?
Mulder's like, you know what? If the military's not gonna give us any information, and not all these contacts are not
We're
gonna
gonna
follow
find
through,
the information.
we're gonna go straight to the military base. And Scully's like, fam, it ain't even on this map. And he's like, of course it's not.
It's not on that map. The military base ain't even on that map.
So they go, and Scully's just kind of hanging out in the car.
She fall asleep.
She fell asleep. She's slumped.
And then what do we hear? Just a big fucking bang.
Windows break.
Windows break.
Hello.
Mulder comes runging
And he's like, so
down.
you gotta see this. And she's like, fam, I just woke up. You're trifling right now. And he's like, come on, we're going.
Come on, ho. Come up on top of this hill with me.
And what do they see? Definitely not aircraft.
No, no.
It wasn't an aircraft. It was an unidentified aircraft.
They're flying around in ways we can't even comprehend.
No way.
Like a laser light
It's
show.
like, if anyone remembers, in Muppets
Quite a lot
movies,
of alliteration.
in Muppets movies, when that little white dot would like spell out, like write out Jim Henson's name in cursive.
Yeah.
It was looking like that. Like,
But like two of them.
Yeah.
Bing. It was all over.
It was so beautiful. Dancing in the sky.
And then what happens? They just
art.
disappear.
They disappear, and they're like, well, where did they go?
Oh
You know
shit!
what they do see? You know what they do see though?
A fucking helicopter
Coming towards them. And they're
towards
like,
them, looking for them.
now,
what do they do?
Originally, they thought it was for them, but then they see two little scoundrels running through the gate. They were there too. And they're like, hey kids, and they're like, gotta blast. And then they're like, no, you're not gonna blast. We're gonna blast right after you. So there's a bunch of blasting going on.
And then, you know where they end
fervent
up?
Blasting.
A diner. They make it out of there.
Hey, wait a minute.
They catch
Barely
up
though.
and they bring
Barely
them to
though.
a diner.
Because like they have to hide from the helicopter that's looking for them.
Yeah.
And then they go to a diner at 5 in the morning.
And you know who the scoundrel is? Seth Green.
Seth Green!
Seth Green with that long ginger hair though.
Long ginger hair.
Star of the Austin Powers movie. Star of Family Guy. Star of Robot Chicken.
True.
A true American treasure.
Yep. What's going on here? So Seth Green still exists.
Yeah,
He's a real man.
What a man.
He's been in the X-Files.
What a treasure.
He's been in it all.
What does this note say?
They were high as shit watching those planes.
They were so high. Scully said if she were that baked, I don't know what she said after that.
And then Mulder's like, Scully, come on.
We know you don't inject the marijuanas.
Those
true.
Weedles aren't good for you.
You are too
By the
pure.
way, let's point out that Seth Green makes a Saddam Hussein joke that would not fly on modern
Oh
television.
no. It's almost offensive, but
It's
for the
almost
fact that it
offensive,
was
but
in
you know
91.
what? It's pre-9/11.
So they
They're
don't
like,
know.
dictators are hilarious when they don't attack us.
Plus, they were probably in high school, and high schoolers are,
Yeah.
A little bit.
But you know who's rolling by when they're talking about Saddam Hussein?
Who's rolling by?
Authorities. And they're like, I got a 20 on
Authorities.
them. What's a 20?
No one knows what.
Got 20 on them?
No one knows what.
I mean,
X-Files. We
X-Files.
should have done a research.
I know you're like big FBI show. You're doing it for the FBI. But
got a 20 on it. Yep.
sir,
A lot of
What's
trap,
up?
lot of static on that one.
Yeah.
sir, what's a 20?
And he's like, so I was trying to look really cool, and he's like, I got you.
Got you, fam.
So he drops them off with moped and all, because that's how they got out there.
Mm-hmm.
Real college kids.
Real stoners. Am I right?
So then
ladies?
Mulder's like, Scully, I'm going to deposit a theory here. And she's like, sure, what's up? He's like, I think that it's not necessarily UFOs we saw. there.
Oh.
I think it was
really?
military planes with UFO technology.
Oh, breaking new info.
And she's like, you know what? That's not the worst thing I've ever heard. I'll see what's up. Then, cut to her, looking at getting some information from a desk with heel running. Lots of heel running.
She is so good at that.
Good at heel running.
She can run and wear anything.
That should be an Olympic sport.
I
It
think
should
so.
be.
It's like, how power walking is a Olympic sport?
Yeah, it's
Power walking in heels, or just casually
Slap-
jogging through the woods. In
Slap
heels.
6
Yep.
inches on the back of that foot. See how fast you can run.
Yeah.
And then they get a call. Hey, my husband returned. Oh, bing, 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 bing.
Bing,
That's the guy
bang.
we're looking for.
Bing bang,
Zing,
daddy's
zang,
home.
zoom over to that very nice house. Walk
And
in.
what is she doing? She's sobbing.
crying.
She is
Why?
sobbing.
She's like, that's not my husband. That's not my husband. That's not my husband. And they're like,
They go over, and what do? They ask him questions, and what does he do? He
Okay.
answers them all.
he answers them all. He's like, I know the names of my kids. One of them was named Josh.
The other one is like
Sandy.
Melanie or some shit.
Yeah.
It better not be fucking Peggy, though.
Peggy's and Lucy's, get out.
He's and Lucy's. You gotta leave.
Gotta
man.
get
You
out of
gotta
here.
leave.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so he's like, my favorite team is the Packers.
And what is he wearing? Green Bay shirt.
Green Bay.
But
Oh,
Mulder knows how to spook this guy. He's like, hey, my buddy once told me that you can do some rickety dick stuff with a plane.
An AG.
AG
AG with the
Jeez.
Ricky Dick.
With the rickety dick, he's like, what?
Can you do that? He's like, can
He's
you
like-
do that? And then
and
he
his eyes
starts
like-
the eye twitching.
He's like,
He starts getting
and
nervous.
then his wife's like, Yep, that ain't him. That ain't
But
him.
no, not even that. She starts backing away, and she's like, with the hand up by the mouth, trembling, sobbing. She's like, "That's not my husband."
Because he was an airplane fanatic.
and he knows everything, but now he doesn't.
For sure.
So what the hell happened? That's what we're trying to find out, folks.
Let's see here. So they're back. They're back in the car, and he's like, I think his mind's being played with. And then Scully's like, Mulder, come on, people have amnesia. He's like, and just like, this is the one thing I never got about the X-Files, is that, like, whenever Mulder, like, says something, like, really, like, exclamatory, it's just supposed to be, like, the truth at that point. It's just supposed to be like, yep.
And then Scully's like, no, son, no.
So, they move on. They get better. They're like, we need to figure this out. And they're going down the road,
Casually. Down
Yeah,
some
I'm
back
just trying to
alley.
remember where we're at
No,
in this
some
episode.
gravel road. They go down the gravel road.
My notes get very cryptic at this part.
They go down the gravel road.
Just
They
like
go-
And there's
right.
weeds on the right side, and there's grass on the left side, as is Idaho. And what do they see? Two cars.
Two
but
cars.
What does the second car do? It comes out.
It goes out from around and
From
is
around.
not going anywhere. So they're
Mm-mm.
like, put on the brakes, swerve it around. All these dudes in black suits get out at the same
They
time.
all have sunglasses too. They're so straight.
They're so straight.
they're like, this is our town. Get the F out,
Well,
Mulder.
they're from the GOV,
yeah.
and they're like,
What's
you
that
guys,
stand for?
the government. And they're like, hey guys, see that you're snooping around here. That's not gonna fly.
Guys, we
You know-
just, we
That's
just
not gonna fly, but we are.
guys, we just don't really appreciate.
Now
what you guys
Mulder
are
apparently had been
snooping
taking some photos that night of the plane's UFO technology. They rip out that film because it's the 90s. No one has phones yet.
Mm-hmm.
So he rips out the film and he's like, dang,
Gosh,
damn.
Damn.
if this guy had the cloud,
They take
this
all
would
their
be so
stuff
much
and he's
easier.
like, we're gonna take you back to your hotel. You guys better leave.
You better get the fuck out of here, is what they say.
So they're back at their hotel, and they're like, damn,
so close.
Damn. Scully's like, Mulder.
we tried.
We tried. We should leave. So she walks into her motel room. What does she hear? She hears the skidding of them tires.
Yep,
And when she runs out, and what does
Mulder
she see?
had taken the keys.
What a badass.
And he wants to go back to that military base.
Boy.
Who's he meet up with? Seth Green and the other girl who I guess never really made it in Hollywood.
Yeah, no.
No, that's
That's okay. But he had ginger hair and it was long, so.
True. And he's like, hey, you guys talked about a yellow bunker earlier, right? And they're like, yeah. He's like, but no one ever goes there. That's like the big stuff.
That's
you
like
wanna
10
go."
miles out.
And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna do it.
I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna
And what does
it.
he
I'm gonna
do?
go 10
He
miles.
does it. It is what he does.
It is what he does. And he goes there, and he waits, he camps out, and then at night, goes onto the tarmac,
5 a.m.
5 a.m.,
It was 6:30 a.m. when he got captured.
true, and he looks up on the tarmac, alien spaceship, most likely than not.
You know what shape that was in though?
A triangle!
Come isosceles.
That's just like the one the lovely diner lady took.
For sure.
And the one from 50 years ago.
And the one from 50 years ago. They've been working on this for a while.
Oh yeah, government slow.
Lifetimes.
Clearly
Lifetimes.
an alien spacecraft. No doubts about it. Nothing on this Earth even approaches
So-
what this ship looked like.
Look-
Luckily,
Nothing.
luckily for our good boy Mulder, doesn't do anything to him. Just puts a light on him, and they're like, "Okay, blast off." But you know who's not having it?
The government.
Big police vehicles are coming after him on the tarmac. He tries to outrun them. Kind of a dumb move.
Come
Come on, Mulder. You're not faster than a speeding car.
He was trying to do some Tom Cruise stuff, like in World of Worlds
But
when
he's
he
not
does.
Tom Cruise. He's Fox Mulder.
He gets
Thank
stopped.
God.
They put him on a stretcher,
For real.
and they roll him into the yellow hanger. They're putting like injections in him. They're masking him up, but he still sees a couple
He
things.
still sees lots of things. And what does he see?
the production of a triangle ship.
A huge triangle behind this giant plastic sheet.
Big one.
What's this government up to? Something nefarious.
Now,
Good word choice.
Now it's
Thank
6:30 a.m. and Scully hasn't seen Mulder in a while. So she's calling people. No one knows. All the phones are down because of the military stuff. Ooh. She's like, let me go talk to this
sinister.
reporter guy, because she thinks something's up.
you. And is something up? Yes.
Yeah, she forgets her gun. That's important.
Yeah.
'Cause she's
Who
like-
shows up?
The reporter guy.
The
He's
report
like, let me
guy.
ask you a few questions.
Let me ask you a few questions. She's like, huh. Quick gets inside his car, locks all the doors, looks around.
There's a
He's-
walkie-talkie.
He's undercover. He's working for the airbase.
She finds an ID, and he's working for the airbase, and he also has a gun. And what happens next? He fucking breaks the window.
Breaks the window with a fire extinguisher. He's like, come on. And then she points a gun at him. He's like, no, you're coming with me.
Yeah.
We're going to this airbase. We're going to find Mulder.
Mm-hmm. Next scene cuts to him driving casually.
Oh, beautiful,
and then
beautiful Idaho
Oh
land.
god.
God, the sky.
The
was-
sky was just gorgeous.
Gorgeous.
I'd fuck that Scott.
Stick my dick in the clouds.
Damn.
But let's talk about the filming here. We just see him driving, and then it just pans around, and she's just got a gun casually pointed to his head. Lovely.
Great camera work.
Love it.
Great camera work. So they get there, and they're about to go in. They're trying to get clearance, but Mulder just walks around and out from a car, and he looks terrible.
Like, he looks so bad like Kanye.
But his memory got wiped. He can't remember anything.
he looks like Kanye.
He's got the style.
So
though.
they basically do a hostage exchange. Undercover dude in exchange for Mulder. Yada. You guys all get it.
Yeah.
He doesn't remember anything. And they're, you know what? They're just they're back now. They're back in DC.
Kind of back to where they started.
Yep.
Not much accomplished, but we, the audience,
Have learned so much.
And so, Scully she kind of forges some stuff on the note. She's like, you know what? Nothing's gonna happen. The
we have
people-
no proof of anything.
Yeah, the people are on us. So she rinky dinks. Mulder's running around in cut off Georgia. He's buff. He's running around wind sprinting, and who shows up at the track? Deep Throat.
not this guy again.
You know what? Bookending this episode, he's like, I told you should have not gone there. And Mulder's like, yeah, I get it. Okay, yeah, obviously my memory got wiped. Like, do you know what's happening? He's like, yeah.
I know exactly what's fucking happening.
And he's like, tell me. He's like, well, you got to work with me because I got notes for my benefit. And he's like, well, what's in it for you? And he says something along the lines of like the truth, which I think is like,
It's out there.
Truth
It's
is out
out there.
That's one thing I've learned from my experience.
And so he walks away and he's like, this stuff's been here for years. And that's kind of how he closed the episode. So, what are the 5 things we learned from episode 2?
You know
Don't
what?
go to Idaho
Don't go to Idaho.
unless you know
Bad
someone.
choice.
Sky
Bad
is
choice.
beautiful though.
Sky is gorgeous.
beautiful.
Fuckable.
Yes.
I put my dick in that cloud.
Number 3, everyone.
Number 2.
Oh, is this guy not beautiful?
That's all.
Oh, it's all in one. Okay.
Number 2. Triangle ships exist.
They're real. Guys, you thought
Even
triangles
50
could
years
fly?
ago, from the 90s. So that's
From the-
what? 80 years ago. Math.
Yeah, man.
Man.
I don't know if that's right.
Alright. Oh, whatever. Number 3,
The
Seth Green.
government's got some shit.
Seth Green lived in Idaho.
Seth Green is a stoner,
Yeah.
American hero,
American hero. American
Who lived in
treasure.
Idaho?
and UFO spotter.
Yep. Number 4, Deep Throat guy, really unoriginal in the name. That was already a Watergate thing. We're past that.
Yeah. I mean, come on.
The government's been through this
Come
before.
on, Chris Carter?
I think you wrote the episode, yeah?
Yeah, Chris Carter, former NFL wide receiver.
Yep.
Just
Probably.
get your shit together.
And finally, we're on number 5 now?
Number
Yeah,
5.
number 5.
Number 5, truth is still out there.
Yeah.
That's always number 5.
That's our number 5.
The protagonists don't know about the aliens and the ships and the government being evil, but we do. We
Yep.
know the truth.
for
They
sure.
just have to find it.
Guys,
We're just getting started. This is the
we're just getting started. This is the end of only the first episode. Next episode, we're going to come out with episodes 3, episode 4 of The X-Files.
Not episode 5. That's too much.
No, 5 is going to be the one after that.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, expect 3 and 4 if you guys want to catch up. Make sure to watch all these episodes.
Except
follow
for
along
Peggy
with
and
us.
Lucy.
This episode...
You're not welcome.
Screw Peggy and Lucy's. Get them out of here. We don't need them.
This episode has been brought to you by Denim.
Denim?
Wear your denim jeans.
And libraries.
Fuck Peggy. Fuck Lucy. Good night. I've been Chris Halbrick.
I'm Logan, Krishka.
And I guess I'm Don McBride because that's the only name that's left.
Good night,
See
everybody.
you all next time.
Have a night.